EURUSD pushed down lower yesterday after the news that there was a call between China and the United States, and this has now caused an increased strength on the United States dollar and as well on risk on pairs such as the New Zealand dollar and as well the Australian dollar as well. If we have a quick look at AUDCHF, we can see a strong rally in towards the upside yesterday of around 1.3%, and the same goes for NZDUSD, where we also saw a further strong rally in towards the highs. Now, looking at today, EURUSD, what are we looking for? Well, we're still looking for potential for the downside. As I discussed in yesterday's market update, we are still daily fractal bearish. So overall, we are bearish from the current fractal high in towards the current fractal low. After tapping into this monthly imbalance candle, which we have over here, we're obviously looking for somewhat of a pullback in towards the downside after this massive rally in towards the highs of around 13%. Now, when can we expect that overall pullback to happen? Well, that is when we see a daily change of character, because after tapping into that higher time from POI, you want confirmation that that POI, that area of supply is actually valid. So how do we validate that? Well, we validate that through a change of character, and then more specifically a bearish one. So overall, this buy up, strong sell down, breaks market structure. That is where you want to be looking for sells inside of. Now, going into the 4-hour, we can then see that on the 4-hour time frame, we formed a new area of supply over here, which caused some temporary downside for EURUSD. Now, what I'm looking for today is to see if we can get another push in towards the downside, as we saw pretty much a sweep of this internal high over here. And now this overall buy before the sell is pretty much, again, your area of supply from where you want to be looking for shorts on EURUSD. We still have a lot of equal lows open, a lot of trendline liquidity open, which I'm looking to see get taken out. So therefore, I will be looking for further shorts on EURUSD on the lower time frame as well. The 1 hour is currently retracing in towards this area of supply, which for myself is a strong one, as the supply was formed of a buy before a strong sell down that took out previous equal highs over here and liquidated the highs and then caused that overall strong push down. We've now also liquidated this internal high as well, so I'm now looking for that further downside push on euro dollar. Okay, so that's my main focus for today. Potential shorts, if we do push up higher, then I'll be reevaluating the overall plan, because I do need to see that bearish confirmation come from that overall supply zone. Because yes, you might have a buy before the sell over here, which is nice, and which, let's say, took out these equal highs that we had, or these descending highs that we had over here. But now you want to see what confirmation that this supply zone is actually valid in the form of another change of character in towards the downside. So the current fractal low is positioned over here, so you would need to see this, and then you could get into a short position. That is ultimately what I would be looking for on EURUSD. Going into the dollar index, I'm looking for those EURUSD sells, because the dollar index for me still has the potential to push up higher. If we look here on the weekly time frame, we can still see that we're at the overall range low of this previous accumulation zone. What happens when you come to the range highs or when you come to the range lows? More often than not, will you see at least somewhat of a reaction? So I'm just simply also again looking for a reaction in towards the highs, because simply said, there's a lot of stop losses positioned underneath an area of consolidation. There's a lot of liquidity base there. So let's see if we can get a stronger push in towards the upside. So that is for me the game plan for now on the dollar index. Looking here at the daily time frame, we can also still see that the daily shifted fractal bullish. I think it was on Wednesday. This is currently the fractal low. This is currently the fractal high. Again, guys, if you don't know what fractal structure is, it's very simply said the structure of the individual candlesticks. There's also a video of this here on the channel, but overall we see the push down, retracement, push down, and now we just saw the push up. We saw the retracement, and now we're just looking for the upside continuation from this overall sell before the buy, which is acting or should act as an area of demand. So interested in further upside here from the dollar index. After sweeping the internal liquidity that we had underneath these two equal lows, we tapped in towards this area of demand. This demand zone, again, you see a sweep of the initial reaction, and then from there the overall buy up. Now this morning we have the sell for the buy over here, looking for that further upside, maybe liquidating this internal low and looking still for longs. I would only kind of like shift my buys here on the dollar index if the 4-hour fractal low breaks. That is the current fractal low over here. If that were to break, then I would say, okay, further downside is possible, but until then, more focusing on that further upside. So that further upside from the dollar would mean that Aussie dollar also still has the potential to push down lower. To be honest, very ugly price action here on AUDUSD. Euro dollar looking a lot cleaner. We can see that the market is currently just liquidating highs and lows, moving sideways, moving extremely choppy after taking out that daily liquidity on top of these descending highs. After taking that out, you would want to look for that further downside push again. However, nothing really too clean here on the 4-hour. Yeah, I mean, you can see that we were looking in the past for shorts from this area of supply to push the market down lower. We sweep this low and then we see a strong reversal again. At the moment, what I would want to see, not really too sure. I mean, we have somewhat of a supply zone over here, which is pushing the market down lower for now, but it's not a very strong one. So I would personally stay out of AU. For me, it's a little bit too unclear where this wants to be heading next. So I would stay out. Looking at GBPUSD, we can see that GU is still daily fractal bullish. Yesterday, we saw a bullish candle close. We saw quite some strength from the pound yesterday. I was in G Swiss longs myself just to show you guys what that did. We can see that it had a amazing rally in towards the highs. This also caused me to pass another phase 2 with Alpha Capital, and I'm now max allocation with Alpha Capital. So that's some good news. I'll share some screenshots of that inside Discord, or I already did that, but you can check the screenshots inside Discord. But overall, GBPUSD here inside daily demand. That caused yesterday us to push up higher. Therefore, still, guys, I'm not interested in shorts yet. Only if we break the current fractal low. That's when I would be looking at shorts. Until then, longs are the only thing that I would be interested in. But the thing is now that on GU, the 4-hour fractal is bearish. So that's kind of like an issue with this being the current fractal high, this being the current fractal low. We now swept the internal liquidity. So yeah, for myself, GU is just not a valid pair to trade at the moment until we break the current fractal low, because then we have the daily and the 4-hour alignment as well. So I would personally just stay out, and I would preferably also only take shorts once we take out this weekly high that we have over here, or if we see the daily fractal structure shift. Okay, so either we break the daily fractal low, which is the current FL, or we sweep with the weekly liquidity high, and then we start looking for more aggressive shorts, in my opinion. Then last of all, we have NZDUSD, of course, as well, and gold. NZDUSD here on the daily again, so a strong push, a rally in towards the upside. Pretty much as I mentioned, not really interested in shorts. As we know, the fractal low is still bullish, or like we're still bullish fractal structure wise. Fractal structure, again, guys, is just the structure of the individual candlesticks. So you see push up, pull back, push up, pull back, push up, pull back, push up. So we could just start pushing up higher again, only looking for shorts once we break the current fractal low here on the daily time frame. Furthermore, no clean areas of supply here to our left. Therefore, I'm not interested in getting into aggressive sells. I'll really only wait or only look to sell once we break the current fractal low. And a correction would be due, in my opinion, after such a massive rally. Now, moving onwards into dollar yen, still looking for further upside on this. As we can see today or tonight or this morning, we saw another beautiful rally from this overall sub for the buy. Fractal structure is bullish. Looking to see how we will close today. If we see a strong candle close today, then we can look for more longs into next week. Otherwise, wait for the, let's say, structure to kind of form. Looking here at the 4-hour time frame, I want to see this push the market up higher, and I want to see the current fractal low be respected in order to push the market up higher. But yeah, congrats if you have been in longs, because we've been talking about this all week. So yeah, good stuff. And dollar Swiss, obviously a position that I'm in, that also helped me pass my phase 2. So yeah, very, very nice push overall. We were up around, I think, nearly 1%. I had a slightly tighter stop loss. Myself, I made around 1%, which caused me to pass the funded challenge. But yeah, still looking for further upside on USD Swiss. And then last of all, we also have, of course, gold. And gold has been manipulating quite a lot. And this is also the reason why I've been kind of like waiting for more momentum, because here again, you can see, okay, we get the first break up after this break of structure. Then, okay, let's see, we get another push up. Pure liquidity swipe, no like substantial candle close whatsoever, and then we just sell off in towards the downside into this refined area of demand. So I think from this refined area of demand, we might see some further upside once again, because we've kind of like swept the lows, we tap into this refined demand zone. But overall, gold is a much better buy from these lower areas of demand. So these zone over here, 3245 and 3167. Those are kind of like the two zones that I'm more focused on with gold. Looking at the 15-minute time frame, it makes sense to start pulling back, but we've now pushed in towards this demand zone over here, but we still have a lot of ascending lows. So I would prefer to see one more push down and then start looking for longs again. Not really interested in getting to aggressive buys from this level. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Wish you all a fantastic trading day. Any questions, make sure to join Discord, link in the description of this video, and I'll see you there.